Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael Grass. This is the Grassroots 304 podcast, episode number 64. And tonight, my special guests are the guys from Into the Fog. You're all the way from Raleigh, North Carolina, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, well, welcome to West Virginia, guys.
Yeah, man. Good to be here.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and pass around the mic and tell us who you are.
I'm Connor. I play electric guitar and sometimes acoustic guitars too, depending on what we need. And I don't know. Do we want to pick an icebreaker? Like, maybe like favorite video game or something?
Maybe. I don't know, like a indica or sativa.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My name's Connor. I play electric guitar, and I like sativa.
Okay. Okay, good answer, Connor.
What's up, you guys? My name's Derek. I play bass in the band. I like a hybrid. A nice hybrid.
There you go. Yeah, let's switch it up.
Yeah.
My name is Winston. I play mandolin, and I am an indica guy. Strap me to the couch, baby.
Couch lock, right? Into couch.
That's right.
Into the couch.
I got no problem getting up on my own.
Yeah, that's my mind went opposite direction there. My name is Michael, and I prefer an indica as well. However, indicas in the morning get me lazy, so I prefer sativa in the morning.
Okay.
So, yeah. Actually, I was talking to a guy earlier, and it's actually Archie from Ben Fish, and he said there was a question he liked to ask people was, how do you prefer your joints? Is there a special way you prefer it, whether it's like rolled or it's like a packed cone, or like you mix some like moon rocks in with it, or a little bit of like key for some live resin, or you just like a straight up regular good old joint?
Shout out to the homies at Celestial Wellness. We just got some hash infused joints. So the
Nice.
answer for me is going to be with hash in them.
That's what's up. Probably bubble hash, I suppose, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's what's up.
I like a good filter in my joint, so
Yep.
I don't get any Scooby snacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like.
Scooby snacks, yeah. No Scooby snacks in your mouth.
For me, I just gotta go with the classic, like, it was rolled by like your uncle
Yeah.
or something.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have a filter in it.
Good
That's
old
like
fashioned.
the old JOB papers.
You're right, yeah.
Give me one of those.
Okay, I dig that. Yeah, like I want to be impregnated too, right in the middle.
Yeah.
It can't be
That's
perfectly
what
even.
I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like it's got that big middle, and you can barely pull out of it.
Right, yeah.
That's what I
A
want.
little tiny bit on the end and fat on the other side.
It's got character.
So I've been accustomed to smoking these things, these cones, and it looks like I've had this on my ear for a minute, so it's not that it's sweaty, but there there is a shiny area that's here. However, I did earlier. I put some moon rocks in here, so it could be the moon rocks that are getting warm off the heat from the side of my bald head.
That might help the how well it
Yeah,
burns,
yeah,
you know?
right. It might, it's like just melt into there a little bit better and
Yeah,
make
baked.
it marinated.
Yeah.
You guys are cool so far. So I never normally ask people about their preferred cannabis, but that's a good icebreaker. So yeah, normally I hop right into it.
Yeah. Thanks, Archie.
Yeah, thanks, Archie. Appreciate that. You guys, tell me about the band. How do you all originally come together, and like, what's the vision when you first started out?
Yeah.
The band's been through a couple different eras. The current era has been, about a year and a half or 2 years now. We've been forming this bluegrass trio with electric guitar kind of sound, and we've just been trying to figure out, how to get that to work with all of our songs and how to write more songs with that in mind and keep it sounding full.
Okay, so you guys are described as like it's like not jamtronic bluegrass. What I saw, psychedelic bluegrass earlier, psychedelic jamgrass. Actually, my mind's bouncing all over the place here. Like what kind of songs or what kind of I should say genres blend into that between bluegrass, maybe funk, psychedelic rock?
Really can take from anything. I think we hit a lot of bluegrass, double time kind of stuff. And we in particular like the funk. I like to bring the funk into the jamgrass stuff.
Yeah, that's nice because that's normally something that's not blended in with that.
Yeah, and rock and roll definitely takes a big part in anything jam.
Okay. Now, the name of the band. Oh, you got something to add?
Yeah. I mean, I always think of the term like folk funk
Uh huh.
or funk folk. I
Okay.
don't know. something more accurately describes us, because like we're not strictly bluegrass, we're not strictly really anything. I don't know.
So, I mean, that's also ultimately like a jam band, though, right? Because that's a mix of everything, at least a mix of multiple genres.
Like I like to think of our band as like maybe like a celebration of American music.
Okay.
I mean, we play some British tunes too. Shout out Paul McCartney.
Y'all have got a
Elton
following,
John.
like, you know, like the Beatles out there with that huge crowd tonight.
Yeah.
It's wild. We had to keep the security back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wild.
So folk funk. Okay, I get down with that. You know, it is a cool, interesting way to incorporate funk into the sound of bluegrass, because most of it's like, I don't know, there's traditional, and then there's some like trash grass where they get a little bit more heavy with the rock onto things, or heavy into the riffs. But you know, people want to put a label on it.
Yeah, I think we hit the funk thing, and we're also like kind of dabbling into our sludge era right now.
Sludge era. What's that like?
We're getting kind of distorted and chunky at times.
Okay.
But still fresh and still funky at the same time.
Okay.
If you can imagine that.
Yeah, I kind of get a vibe for that. Like you're starting to find yourself, I suppose.
Yeah, but also lose ourselves at the same time.
Lose yourself. How many years have you all been playing together?
Me and Derek for six or 7 years now. 7 years now.
Okay. So I'd read on the website 2017, but I saw that there were some changes. You have a recent member that's no longer with you, I suppose.
Yeah. We had a little lineup change about a year and a half ago, and just been rocking with the trio. We had some friends play with us a little bit, and still do from time to time. But this is the core trio right here.
Well, all you need is a tripod, right?
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. Now, the name Into the Fog, had you guys ever thought like maybe Into the Smog, or like the Smoggy Bottom Boys?
That's pretty good. We want to be the Foggy Bottom Boys for Halloween one year, for sure.
Okay, I dig that. Now, do you have a certain name for like your fans or your followers?
Oh yeah, we call them the Foggers.
The Foggers, okay. Let's.
Yeah.
We were wondering about that earlier. Maybe they would have been the Foggets.
Those are the younger ones.
The Foggers.
Yeah.
So I did see the bumper sticker out there. Virginia is for Foggers.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, so California must be for Smoggers then. Right?
Sounds about right.
And where's that name come from? What's that stem from?
Into the Fog.
Yeah.
We took peyote in the desert.
Yeah, for real?
No one really knows, you know?
You just like put some names in a hat and draw them out and see what sounds right.
Yeah, we're working on fabricating a really sick story, but for right now, we're going to go with peyote in the desert.
Okay. There you go. There was a guy a couple weeks ago from the band called Chirp, and he Chirp's from Detroit, actually, and he was talking about how he was propagating different kinds of cactuses, and one of them wasn't peyote. However, I'm pretty sure that he would know how to make that happen. So, damn, that was loud. Cut, right? Anyways, yeah, never done peyote, but yeah, maybe one of these days. People pay a lot of money to go down to like South America and trip their balls off and shit and figure out who they are, right?
That's what we did,
Yeah,
supposedly.
that's how you figure. There you go. That's how you
Look at us
figured out the
now.
name of the band, right?
That's what we do.
Let's see here. You got a new album, Carolina Moon. That seems to reflect more of a refined sound. What was the creative process like for recording that album?
Yeah, that album is half studio, half at home.
Okay.
And it's maybe a 6-month process, basically. We recorded some backing tracks, and then we started stacking on top of it. And
Yeah.
we had a crazy couple months towards the end of the process where we were basically every day working on that album. Mm-hmm. And a couple of the songs on there are brand new. Our folks had never heard them until the album dropped. And
Really? You didn't
Yeah.
you didn't play some ahead of time to see like what sounded good to your fans? You just drop it all out?
here and there, we had a couple, we'll drive away from our home market and test material. Mm-hmm. We like to do that in Ohio. We went to Ohio and played a whole bunch of new songs.
Yeah.
Or our guinea pigs.
Okay. And somebody's got to be, right? So what about West Virginia? Were we guinea pigs tonight for any special new songs, or did you just like play what was comfortable?
So what was special about tonight is we didn't actually write a set list. We just kind of wrote a bunch of songs we felt like playing and decided to just kind of wing it.
Okay. Do y'all normally do that, or do you stick with the?
It depends on what we're feeling. You know, if we know the crowd's going to be a certain way. We'll try to write the set list, but we've never been here before, and we weren't sure what the crowd was going to be like, so
Right.
kind of just felt it out.
Yeah, just get you for how it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like sometimes people will, like, our fans that we know will, like, hit us up on Instagram or something and request a song, so we'll
Yeah.
try to play that one. And sometimes, like, if we're at a festival, we definitely want to write a set list because it's like we got to get in and out of there in like 45 minutes.
Right.
We want to show our material, and we want to play a couple choice covers for the people
Yeah.
too.
Of course, like, you got to play like an awesome cover when you're at a festival, so like the people that may not know who you are know what that song is and can get down and vibe too. So like, what's some of your favorite covers that you play?
Right now we've been really liking "I Want to Be Sedated"
Wanna be sedated.
by the Ramones.
I wanna be sedated. Yeah, okay.
It's been a great party tune for us. What
Yeah.
else?
We play the Ramones, "The Toxic" by Britney Spears.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
a big hit. Yeah, people really. we need to start playing that one again. It's been a little while.
That would throw people off.
Saturday night's all right for fighting.
Yeah.
That one's a Connor belter.
Yeah, and get the people worked up in the crowd, right?
Yeah, he's got to eat breakfast if he's gonna do that one at night.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the breakfast of champions look like for you guys?
Indica, baby.
Good answer.
A Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit.
Oh, that's right. You guys have Bojangles down south.
That's right. I'm already
Yeah.
missing it, man.
Bojangles sucks, I gotta say. It did when it was up here. It did when it was up here, and they had to shut down their franchises. Sorry to shit on Bojangles, but Tudor's Biscuit World is like outnumbering Bojangles here. Yeah.
I like a light breakfast. I do like maybe some yogurt or like a light snack and my coffee.
Okay. Yeah, that keeps it easy on the stomach. Yeah, you're probably not having to go run to the bathroom 30 minutes after eating. Unless the coffee hits you, right?
I don't get super hungry in the mornings.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it's sometimes I'll skip breakfast. I usually only eat breakfast like when I'm on vacation or out of town.
Right.
Like skip right through it. Might have a late lunch and then eat dinner. But it seems to work for me. But I know they say you should eat 3 meals a day, right? To be healthy. Yeah.
They're trying to. That's big food, big stomach.
Right. I'm not really a
Trying
big
to-
guy, but I kind of packed on the pounds recently after I quit smoking and then
It'll
didn't
happen.
exercise. But yeah, that's what happens when you get 30.
The key is you just sleep until 11 a.m. and then you skip breakfast. So you only
Right.
got to eat 2 meals if you just sleep in late.
There you go. That's a way to cut back on money and I guess cut back on some fat too, I suppose. Fuck, I like sleeping in, but after you sleep in after 10 a.m., like you might feel like you wasted half the day. Yeah,
You got to
Getting
make
shit
friends with
done.
the nighttime, man. That's my solution. Is the wintertime can be kind of weird if you sleep till 11 a.m. You only get a few hours, but make friends with the darkness, man.
Oh, trust me, I'm much more of a nighttime person than I am a daytime person, but I struggle to be the daytime person because, like, I know that's what you should do. At least in my case, that's what I should do. So, yeah, responsibilities, right? Let's see here. Got a couple more questions. Some of your musical influences, I see, were Yonder Mountain String Band. You guys seen them any recently?
Yeah, Jeff Austin in particular, the original mandolin player.
Didn't he pass away?
He
like,
did.
a year
He
or
did
two
pass
ago?
away. I guess about 5 or 6 years ago.
Has it really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
been a few years. I am very heavily inspired by him, mandolin, and just the energy and what he brings to the stage, regardless of the crowd or where they're playing. Huge inspiration for me and the band, especially.
Yeah, Yonder Mountain's great. I haven't say I'm a fan, but like I couldn't tell you too many of their songs. But I did see them when they played here in West Virginia at I think they played at Mountain Music Festival. We were talking about that earlier. How you met Chris Tansey actually? Yeah, Once Upon a Time, and yeah, killer band, and they're OGs in the scene. Yeah, it's not your daddy's bluegrass, right? Not your grandpa's
It
bluegrass.
is not. But man, Jeff Austin, can't say enough about what he's meant to me and everything that I bring to this band. I won't say that I can play quite like him or sing like him, but definitely would not. This band probably would not exist if it wasn't for Jeff Austin. So.
So there's a lot of inspiration behind him and the band that plays into what you guys do and what your sound is.
Yeah. Yonder Mountain and Sam Bush were like the first kind of acoustic bands where I was like, oh, this is like people my age listen to this. You know, this isn't. I grew up kind of going to bluegrass festivals a little bit with my dad, and wasn't really a huge fan of it, to be honest. Growing up, it was a lot of banjo and just not really my scene. I was more into rock and roll, but I kind of got the rock and roll energy from them,
right? Yeah,
and saw how it translated to acoustic music. So
yeah, it's I just say, like, when I talked about it not being your grandpa's bluegrass or like your daddy's bluegrass, that's what I meant. Because like growing up, I had family lived out in the sticks, and they'd sit around and like play banjo together, and you know, acoustic guitar and stuff. And I really didn't care for that particular kind. But after I'd heard Yonder for the first time, I was blown away, and like, yeah, these guys rock. So
yeah, I kind of went at it backwards. I love traditional bluegrass music now. I listen to it a lot, but definitely didn't go in the chronological order as it went.
Would you consider Del McCoury traditional bluegrass?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
I would say traditional adjacent, but yeah, I mean,
how so adjacent?
He's got a mean G run. I mean, he'll throw a choice cover in there that isn't necessarily a bluegrass song. But best eyebrows in the game by far.
Best eyebrows. You think you get some trims?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Perfection,
sure.
right?
Yeah, he keeps them things. He keeps them things well groomed.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to, and especially when you get old, they start going every which way and all that shit too. So
He looks great up there, man.
he's like a golden ray of sunshine on the stage.
He really is. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm like,
I love Del McCoury.
We opened up for the Traveling McCurries at Subaru Fest in Vermont. And
Oh, really?
They called Dell. It was his birthday.
That's
they called
cool.
him during the set and sang him happy birthday. It was kind of funny.
that's awesome.
It's nice to meet those cats. They were cool.
Yeah. They have like a good, like, I guess just backstage presence. They're genuine and everything.
Yeah, they sure did. They had to do a gondola session.
Oh, really?
We were talking about doing it, but I think they wound up doing it. But it looked kind of cold and miserable. They had all their instruments in a gondola,
Right,
And
going up a
filmed it
mountain.
moving up. Yeah.
Dang.
11 degrees. It was 11 degrees. We got there, and they were like, "Oh, you guys brought the warm weather with you." I was
Warm
like,
weather. Shit.
"We're like some Southern boys.
Yeah.
We're not accustomed."
Right, yeah.
To
I
that.
like the cold weather, but like, man, I like the snow, but I should say I don't like the cold weather. There we go. I like the snow, not the cold weather.
It was a really cool gig, though, to like just play at the bottom of a mountain.
Is that a ski resort, I suppose?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was fun.
You guys do any skiing or snowboarding?
Not that trip.
Nah.
Not that trip. I like to snowboard, but when we can, you know,
Right.
obviously.
Do you guys do a lot of touring, or you play, you know, in back home, you know, most often?
We play on the road a lot, mostly traveling. I mean, we have a show in the Raleigh area in a couple weeks, and then like 2 in the fall, something like that.
Okay.
Play there like 3 or 4 times a year in that home market.
Is there a like particular city or like a music festival that you know like playing the most out of, you know, any other place, or somewhere that you feel most at home at when you're not at home?
The next place we're about to go, baby, every time.
Where's that at?
Right now?
Yeah,
We're going
like-
to Roanoke tomorrow.
Roanoke tomorrow. Okay.
But no, that's just the mindset you gotta have,
Oh,
man.
I
You
got
gotta
you.
you gotta love every place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta bring that love everywhere you go.
that's a good mindset to have.
We do love Virginia though. Virginia is for foggers, and we do play a lot of festivals in Virginia.
Yeah. Well, East Virginia is East Virginia, but West Virginia is best Virginia. So
Okay.
yeah, we gotta make sure that's said on the podcast so that Kendall Street Company knows what's up next time they were watching.
Shout out for Kendall Street.
Yeah. So yeah, good guys. We've had them play here a couple times before, and it's yeah, they're real cool. I interviewed them at Dome Fest many years ago. You guys know what Dome Fest is? Yeah. They're having that here in West Virginia this year, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, up at Ace Adventure Resort, home of Mountain Music Festival. Yeah. So they've signed some sort of contract and a deal with them to have that for their new home for the foreseeable future. So yeah, hopefully that's a cool thing. So let's see. Looking ahead, what's next for the band? Any directions or projects that you're excited to explore?
We have lots of material that's unrecorded. We have a special project that we haven't talked too much about that we're working on now, and we have probably about 2 more albums of material basically ready to record.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like you've got plenty to work with then.
And steadily writing too.
Yeah, we got to catch up on the production side of things somehow.
Yeah. Like there goes the drums. I told
Yeah,
you.
yeah. It's I don't know. It's almost like we have so much like backlog material to record. It's almost hard to like determine what exactly our very next one is gonna look like. But yeah. I mean, we got it in the bag, so we just gotta, organize which ones we want to put out first.
Right. Put it together and then make you a new album or 2.
Yeah.
Or 3. Yeah, that's a lot of material then for 3.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to be ahead of the game, and not like sitting around wondering what your next album's going to be or like what you're going to put together. So.
Yeah, and it's like, and we don't want to just like throw one of them together. We want to definitely like think about it and like really hone the craft in. We don't want to just like record 2 days and then hit the road. We want to be able to just be creative and, because like we've done that where it's like, oh, we got to put this album out. I would rather like us just like work on it really hard.
Take your time with it instead of rush through it, right?
Instead of like deciding a release date and stuff.
Yeah,
but
you can't rush these things too often. You gotta kind of play it out as it goes, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I guess that about wraps it up. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about real quick?
I got nothing.
Just spread love and happiness. Tell somebody you love them every day.
Optimism.
And love yourself.
Love yourself. You got to be true to yourself, right? Love yourself before you can love others as well,
That's
right?
right.
You got to want to love others, though. You got to be kind and respectful.
That's right.
Go ahead and shout out your social medias where people can find your music.
Into the Fog Music on Instagram. We are Into the Fog on Facebook. IntoTheFogMusic.com.
YouTube.com/IntoTheFogMusic.
We also just dropped a Patreon. Check us out on Patreon and help us out get down the road.
There you go. How much to subscribe to your Patreon?
We've got a $5 tier, a $10 tier, and a $30 tier if you're feeling real generous for us.
Okay, there you go. It's like in between like getting a coffee or like a fat dime bag of weed.
That's right. All you got to do is give us $10 a month and we'll be well on our way down the road.
There you go. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat after the show and see your energy's high. And I know it's always a little bit different after the show compared to before the show.
True.
So it always adds a different element. So cool. Thanks again, guys. Of course, if you all like watching, you can search for more. Just look online for the Grassroots 304 podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Support live local music like here at the shop, 1233 Ohio Avenue in Dunbar, West Virginia. And, make sure to go check these out on all their socials. And see you next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out.